जिल्हा आणि सत्र न्यायालय उत्तर गोयचे उक्तावण भारताचे मुखेल न्यायाधीश धनंजय यशवंत चंद्रचूड हांच्या हस्ते आज सकाळी झाले। या वेळार तांणी जमिल्ल्या सगळ्या मानेस्तांक संबोधित करतना वेगवेगळ्या मुद्द्यांचेर उलोवप केले। या वेळार तांणी सुप्रीम कोर्टाची जजमेंट्स आसात ती भारतीय भासांनी अणकारीत करतले अशें उलयतनाच येत्या काळात मराठी आणि कोंकणी भाशेंत लेगीत ही अणकारीत जातले अशें स्पश्ट केले। त्या भायर कसल्याय प्रकारची अपमानास्पद भाषा वा वक्तव्याक न्यायालयान खास करून बायलांच्या विरोधात जागा आसची न्हय अशें ठाम मत तांणी उक्तायले। तशेंच सर्वसमान आनी आदर व्यक्त करपा सारकी भास वापरूंक जाय अशेंय तांणी आपल्या उलोवप्यांत म्हणलें। न्याय वेवस्थेंत जावपी सुविधा ह्यो खंय तरी दरेकाचें आयकून घेवप जातलें हें दाखोवन दिता अशेंय तांणी म्हणलें।
Philosophy of this beautiful state is that it embodies a tranquil attitude towards life that has come to define the beautiful state. But every time I come to Goa, I too feel like leaving my worries behind. But while being impressed by the continuing serenity of the place, I'm also remarkably impressed by the development which is taking place in the state of Goa. Every time that I visit Goa, I see something new which is happening. And I can notice that truly the state of Goa is on the path of rapid economic and social growth and social transformation. Today we celebrate the culmination of a vision that began in October 2016 with a project cost of over 120 crores. Despite the challenges which were posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, which delayed our initial deadline of 2021, the government and the High Court have persevered and completed the state-of-the-art complex in September 2024. I must acknowledge the tireless efforts of everyone involved in overcoming these obstacles. The bar, the bench, the central and the state governments, the architects, the contractors, but above all, each worker who put their best foot forward to ensure that this state-of-the-art building is not only ready on time, but also meets the requirements of a modern court complex. The complex features modern courtrooms and offices, parking capacity for over 280 vehicles, but most importantly, cutting-edge technological advancements, including video conferencing equipment in courtrooms and meeting courtrooms. The Supreme Court had passed an order, pan-India, for making available vulnerable witness deposition centers. And I'm so glad that this complex has a vulnerable witness deposition center. The integration with e-initiatives developed by the High Court of Bombay at Goa ensures seamless functionality and symbolic of a district court which is looking forward. At the heart of our judicial system lies the idea of a conscious court. That is a courtroom which is acutely aware of societal realities and the multifaceted difficulties encountered by those who seek justice. Reflecting the idea of a conscious court, the statue of the Lady of Justice was redesigned in the Supreme Court, and she has taken a new avatar. Today, the Lady of Justice in the Supreme Court does not carry a sword or the talwar, but instead carries with her the Constitution of India, a document which has the transformative power to break the bonds of social hierarchies and inequalities. The statue, which was previously blindfolded to mean impartiality, now has the blindfold removed. After all, the law is not blind. It views everyone equally and is equally aware of social realities. The equality of the law is not a formal sense of equality, but substantive, recognizing that often securing equality is rooted in an understanding of the historical disadvantages and privileges of certain communities. Every individual who walks through the doors of our courts brings with them their own experiences, struggles, and hopes. After all, the work which we do in our courts is to come face to face with injustice in everything that we decide or argue. The judicial process can be daunting. Often, these sense of fears of litigants are precipitated by socio-economic challenges, linguistic barriers, and societal stigmas. A conscious court actively seeks to bridge these gaps, ensuring that justice is not an abstract concept, but a reality accessible to everyone. When we invest in the safety, accessibility, and comfort of our judges, lawyers, and litigants, we build more than just an efficient system. We make a just and inclusive system. Creating inclusive courtrooms cannot be restricted to only infrastructure, but it also means creating an environment where all voices are heard and respected. Access to district courts is one of the first steps towards ensuring equitable access to justice. The importance of the efficient functioning of our district courts cannot be overstated. They serve as the first point of contact for most individuals seeking redressal. The district judiciary is the backbone of our institution, and it is here that the foundations of the law are laid and of justice are laid. By ensuring that district courts are accessible, we empower our citizens to engage meaningfully with the legal system, aiding in facilitating a more equitable society. But physical access is only one aspect. There are numerous barriers, financial constraints, lack of awareness about legal rights, and sometimes even the intimidation of the legal process itself, which prevents individuals from pursuing their claims. To truly democratize access to justice, we must actively work to dismantle all barriers. As we strive for inclusivity within our courtrooms, the language which we use must reflect our ethos. We must be vigilant in our choice of words, ensuring that our language is not only precise, but also respectful and inclusive. Insensitive or dismissive language can perpetuate stereotypes and may disproportionately affect women and marginalized communities. Very often I hear the complaint of women judicial officers that some members of the administrative establishment use derogatory language towards women. I think the time has come when we must realize that all forms of derogatory language, particularly towards women, must have no place in our courts at all. We must actively choose to speak a language of inclusivity, respect, and empowerment. This involves re-examining our legal lexicon and ensuring that it does not reinforce stereotypes based on gender, caste, or socioeconomic status. Therefore, the Supreme Court of India prepared a handbook on gender. And the idea of the handbook on gender was to make people aware of gender stereotypes which are used in the discourse in our courts. Members of the bench, particularly judicial officers at the district level, must remember the thumb rule. Litigants come before the court with a sense of trust and with a sense of vulnerability. Practices within the courtroom should uplift legal discourse rather than undermine dignity. Often the faith, dignity, and the future of the individual is in your hands. Citizen-centric facilities are essential for ensuring that all individuals can engage with the legal process. This includes creating safe spaces for women and children, as well as support services for those who may require additional assistance navigating the court system. Recently, in the Supreme Court of India, we created a new creche to accommodate about 100 children of our staff, of young women lawyers. who are now increasingly a part of the legal profession. Quality legal aid service is a crucial component of accessibility. They are essential for ensuring access to justice, promoting fair trials, empowering vulnerable populations, strengthening the legal framework, and combating legal illiteracy. Prioritizing the enhancement of quality and accessibility in legal aid services must be a focus for policymakers and legal practitioners. Another crucial step for democratizing access to justice is ensuring that our judgments and orders are available in all regional languages. I'm glad to inform you that the judgments of the Supreme Court are also being translated into Konkani. That process has to be expedited. And I'm sure that the Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court will ensure that the judgments of the Bombay High Court are also translated into a language which the people of the state can understand. We must ensure that the work which we do as judges, as lawyers, becomes comprehensible to our citizens. The implementation of platforms such as the Nyaya Vikas portal, which provides updated information about judicial infrastructure, exemplifies our commitment to the pursuit of accessible courts with citizen-centric facilities. Other initiatives like the e-courts, the digital SCR, for those members of the bar who don't know about it, the digital SCR is a free service which is provided by the Supreme Court, are aimed at increasing accessibility and fostering a culture of accountability and transparency. The increasing workload of our judiciary and the persistent pendency of cases necessitate innovative solutions, and the smart use of technology has a potential to revolutionize the operations of the courts and their functionaries. By streamlining processes, automating routine tasks, and enhancing case management, we can reduce delays and improve the efficiency of our courts. By providing real-time access to case information, litigants can track the status of their cases without having to travel to the courts. This includes providing resources in multiple languages and formats, accommodating individuals with disabilities, and creating intuitive navigation systems. When people can access information about court proceedings, judgments, and other legal processes, it fosters a culture of openness and accountability. We have to take small steps to making our court working spaces accessible to all. I always ask the question, do we have gender-sensitive washrooms? A large number of young women lawyers and young women judges are now into our system. Do we provide sanitation hygiene products for women in the washrooms in our court system? It is important that we address these issues, because if we have to truly become a gender equal judiciary, we have to make ourselves easily accessible to women now, who form over a 50% of the new lawyers and the new judges who are entering the court system. Recently, someone I was speaking to in the district judiciary told me that she has to go to a washroom after passing by several male litigants and other male colleagues. Small thing which was drawn to my attention. We can take these small steps within our judiciary to ensure that truly women find a welcoming space within the precincts of our courts.